Welcome to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Thank you for joining us. We start this week with the appointment to the District 5 Council seat, vacated earlier this month by Valerie Irvin. As Susan Kennedy reports, Cherry Branson was chosen by unanimous acclamation. Susan?
Sonia, after 3 days of interviewing more than a dozen candidates, the County Council has unanimously chosen the person who will fill this spot to represent District 5. Longtime congressional staffer and Silver Spring resident Cherry Branson will fill the seat vacated by Valerie Irvin earlier this month. The decision to choose Branson was unanimous, with no other nominations put forward for vote.
I want to thank my colleagues. Each of them approached this from what was going to be best for the District 5 residents. All of them had the civic activism, the community links, but really what stands out is the willingness to work collegially, how they would fit in with us as a body as well.
I love this day. Congratulations.
Branson was sworn into her new position after Tuesday's council session. She is no stranger to county government, having served on the County Charter Review Commission and the Commission on Redistricting, both of which are council appointments.
There are many issues. You know, we've talked about the school board, the school spending, I should say, the budget, and you know, the 10 Mile Creek, the zoning rewrite. I mean, there are just a number of things that will come our way, you know, in the next 10 months. And so I look forward to being able to weigh in on some of those things.
Councilmember Branson immediately begins her duties and will attend her first official meeting of the full council on February 4th. In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
The county's Department of Health has received a financial boost to its Childcare Subsidy, which assists working parents with funds for daycare. Lorna Virgili brings us the details.
What did you buy first?
What's that?
Single parents with children under the age of 13 can now apply for the Working Parent Child Care Subsidy Program. The Department of Health and Human Services has additional funding received during the fiscal year 2014 that desperately needs to pass on to needy families.
They have to go to a licensed daycare center. They can come and apply and come to us personally with their application and their documentation. They can call us on the phone and they can request an application. And basically the requirements are they have to be living in Montgomery County, their children have to be living with them, they have to be working or going to school.
If the parent attends school part-time and also works part-time, then he or she qualifies. Otherwise, it is required a minimum of 30 hours of work per week. Single parents must seek child support through the court, and the department staff is willing to assist in the process.
They have to fill out an application. The documentation they have to bring is proof of address, pay stubs, birth certificates, Social Security, taxes.
In addition, the caregiver has to be licensed by the state of Maryland, and the assistance amount could be, depending on personal need, up to 80% of the cost of the child care. For more information, call the Department of Health and Human Services at 240-777-1155 or walk into their offices at 7300 Colham Place in Rockville. In Rockville, for County Report This Week, I'm Lorna Virgili.
There was a big turnout for the Women's Legislative Briefing held at the Universities of Shady Grove earlier this week in Rockville. MyMC Media's Valerie Bonk has the story of how the event works to empower local women in business and public office.
Women of all ages came together here in Rockville for the county's annual Women's Legislative Briefing to learn about upcoming issues that they should be paying attention to.
This is an annual Don't Miss It event in Montgomery County that draws some of the greatest women activists all across the state.
In fact, the keynote speaker is on the lecture circuit because she's written a book on how social media is making it easier for women to have their voices heard.
So many of these women online, they're active on Facebook, active on their own blogs or larger blogging communities, have truly found their voices and have realized that there's really no longer a barrier to entry to get their opinions and their voices out there.
At this event, dozens of public officials and other experts shared their thoughts on women's issues and what needs to happen in the future.
The most important issue is equality from the point of view of justice. On economic front, we want equality in the marketplace, and right now that's not true for women.
Today is all about bringing together good policy ideas on a variety of women's issues with the kind of activism and organization that helps make it happen.
Audience members applauded a panel of female leaders who discussed how to be successful as a woman in business and public office.
Run, but help other women. Okay, and I'll say this again. Run, but help other women. Okay, because I have to tell you, I have been blessed to be one of those people who had extraordinary help.
And for one leader who works in Washington, the topic of women's issues hits home.
I've been a big supporter of women's issues from a whole variety of perspectives. I have 4 daughters, so it's something that is very personal to me.
I think a lot of times women in public life have a tremendous narrative to tell, and we need to be sharing that narrative.
For County Report This Week, I'm Valerie Bonk.
Employee salaries and food inspection reports are just a few of the data sets you will find on the county's Data Montgomery website. Montgomery County officials recently held an open data town hall meeting in order to find out what kind of data is important to you. This is the second town hall meeting the county has hosted to find out firsthand what kind of data residents and business owners want to see published on the Data Montgomery website.
The purpose of tonight's town hall is really to get input from residents about what their priorities are. What do they want to see us published? Because we've got tremendous amounts of data, hundreds and hundreds of data sets that all take time and energy to publish. We want to make sure that we're publishing the most useful data first.
One idea that I like to see is to find out where the most affordable housing areas are located in the county, for instance.
We're really excited to see what open data can do for the county in terms of commercial innovation and accountability to our residents.
Victoria Lewis is the project manager for Data Montgomery, and she works with the county's departments to publish their data. She also finds the data useful.
I actually use the restaurant, the food inspection data all the time, and sometimes it helps me make a decision of where I'm going to go that night.
The executive director of Manna Food Center says she wants to learn more about what data is available and how to use it.
We need to know where the folks are who need our food services, where we can rescue food, what are the best distribution sites. So data is very important, and we've just begun to scratch the surface of how to use it and analyze it.
What did you hear tonight that you found interesting?
I liked there's a lot of focus on public health and frankly like public health prevention. That was very interesting, and as I might have expected, public safety information.
When it comes to the open data movement, Montgomery County is leading the way, but input remains crucial. There's a link on the Data Montgomery website where you can submit your ideas.
Or it could be a new idea that we haven't even considered that we would really like to hear. So if somebody has a suggestion, please submit it.
When we come back, we'll tell you about some energy efficiency measures that Councilmember Roger Berliner recently introduced to protect our environment. And we'll visit a Montgomery County high school that has more Intel Science finalists than any school in the nation.
Are you sure they can recycle us, Clamshell?
Hey, Dome, we're on a new recycling postcard.
I can't wait to make a new start. Maybe I'll be a red carpet at a big premiere.
And I'll get to paint the White House.
Shh, here he comes.
Now you can recycle more plastics in Montgomery County, including #1 PET plastics such as clamshells, deli containers, trays, lids, domes, and cups.
We're in!
For more information on recycling, contact the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311. The wait is over. Recycle more plastics today.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Councilmember Roger Berliner is known as being an advocate for the environment, having sponsored a host of measures aimed at protection. This week, he's taking another step in that mission by introducing a package of bills that address climate change. Susan Kennedy reports.
The lot of 13 bills address long-term protection of the environment and the use of clean energy.
Let me begin by thanking the national and local environmental leaders for...
At a press conference this week, Councilmember Berliner was joined by a host of environmental leaders who support the legislative package. Berliner says the bills will ensure the county remains at the forefront of sustainability.
It's pretty simple, really. If we want to help our planet, improve the quality of life in Montgomery County, and foster a green economy here, we need to use less energy and more clean energy. Thanks to the hard work of my colleagues before I joined the council and since, our county has long embraced sustainability as a core value. We are building on that foundation today, branding our county as a green community that understands what it takes and means to be a steward of our environment and a creator of a green economy.
Some of the ideas are offshoots from similar bills passed in other states. One bill would require new commercial buildings meet Silver LEED certification standards. Berliner also wants the county government to set a goal of buying 50% of its energy from renewable sources like wind or solar by the year 2015 and 100% by the year 2020.
This work is not only important for what it will do for us, but for what it means more broadly. We simply can no longer look to the federal government to lead us responsibly when it comes to addressing the issue of climate change. Somewhere around 80% of our nation's population lives in urban and suburban communities like ours. That is why it is imperative that progressive communities like ours move forward responsibly to fill the vacuum created by the failure at the federal level. Fortunately, there's much we can do. We need not wait for others. This package of energy efficiency, renewable, and electric vehicle legislation moves us forward.
Councilmember Berliner has enlisted the support of 5 of his colleagues on the council as co-sponsors of the bills. A public hearing is scheduled for February 11th at 7:30 p.m. In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
County Council President Craig Rice held a press conference this week where he discussed a variety of topics the council is addressing this year, including the importance of getting more state funding for school construction.
I wanted to talk to you about our state delegation and our quest for school construction in Annapolis. Especially here in Montgomery County, we experience it the most, growing at about 2,000 students a year. And so it's imperative for us. It really is. And our message to our state delegation has always been one, help the folks that are leading the way. You know, we're leading the charge in making sure that we're innovating and being creative in how we educate our children. We've been the model nationally when it comes to the great things that are being done within our school system, and I think that accordingly we need to make sure that our school buildings and infrastructure reflect that as well.
The school capacity crisis has sparked Montgomery County to launch a new website about its joint effort with Baltimore and Prince George's counties to boost state support for school construction funding. The website will be used to help mobilize support and resources as the county seeks state aid to help solve its school capacity shortage. You can find out more information about this effort online at montgomerycountymd.gov/school funding. 3 students from Montgomery Blair High School have been named finalists in the 2014 Intel Science Talent Search. MCPS TV has their story.
Ishan Dada, Neil Davey, and Jessica Shee are among a total of 40 finalists from across the country taking part in one of the most prestigious high school science competitions in the nation.
The Intel competition is a very long-standing competition that seniors can enter, and what they do is before they enter the competition, they will do independent research in some area of science or mathematics. They'll write up that research and then submit it as a paper. Just to be named a semifinalist is honor enough, and the fact that a school like ours has 3 finalists is pretty amazing.
Becoming a finalist was really surprising when I got the first phone call, but it was also super exciting.
I got a phone call the day before and I wasn't expecting it, so I'm excited to go to Washington. My project was about nuclear matter. So quantum chromodynamics is the theory that describes nuclear matter. But basically it produces equations that are unsolvable. So I wanted to look at 2 limiting cases of that theory and see in this abstraction of reality what aspects of reality do we still capture and do we maintain.
My project is the speeds of families of intersection graphs. Basically what I do is I take a certain class of graphs called intersection graphs and I count the number of these graphs for these various sets of geometric objects. The pattern that we found was that the number depended on the number of variables we need to construct each curve.
Essentially what my project was an early detection mechanism for cancers, and there's these cells in the blood known as circulating tumor cells. So they're the first cells that come out of a primary tumor and that cause death in a lot of cancer diseases. So I use a platform known as drop-based microfluidics to essentially encapsulate cancer cells, and through a fluorescence reaction you could isolate and detect the cells from the blood. Becoming an Intel finalist was really exciting and it was unexpected. And it should be really fun having all three of us Blair students in Washington, D.C., and being able to meet the president should be a really good experience.
Finalists will gather March 6th through March 12th in Washington, D.C. to compete for more than $600,000 in awards, including a grand prize of $100,000. We wish them all the best. When we come back, we'll show you how the city of Rockville is working to keep pedestrians safe. And we'll introduce you to some Renaissance scholars at Montgomery College. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. The city of Rockville is studying ways to improve pedestrian safety. Rockville 11's Chris Pfeiffer has more about what the city is doing to decrease the number of accidents on area roads involving pedestrians.
The city of Rockville wants you to be safe on your commute in light of a recent survey identifying Rockville intersections with a high number of vehicle crashes involving pedestrians and bicycles.
We studied all of our data back since 2004, talking about car crashes involving cars and bicycles and pedestrians. So we have 8 intersections that have had more than 6 crashes in the last 10 years. 6 of those are along Rockville Pike. 2 of them are above the metro station, 1 at Park Road, and then a few down at Edmonston. Edmonston's actually the location with the most crashes, with 18 in the last 10 years, which is a lot. The other 2 are actually Veers Mill and Atlantic, and then the intersection we're at right now is Maryland and East Middle. That has about 10 crashes in the last year, all pedestrians trying to cross the street.
Over the past 10 years, there have been 319 of these types of crashes in Rockville, a number that the city is proactively working on to lower.
It's a twofold effort. One of them is looking at these intersections and making sure that if there's additional signage that needs to go up, if there's more things we can do with the physical layout of the intersection. The other major thing is education. So we work with the police department to target those specific intersections for unsafe driving behavior, unsafe bicycle pedestrian behavior. The other one is doing things like going out to neighborhoods and doing interviews and things in Rockville reports to make sure people know what they should be doing to be safe out there.
Well, we're aware of the issue. What we're targeting now is the area around the metro stations. Those are historically some of the biggest, the bigger numbers for pedestrian or bicyclist collisions is people coming to and from the metro stations. So we're doing increased enforcement on vehicles and pedestrians and bicycles in those areas.
You can read more about the city's effort to decrease these crashes in the February edition of Rockville Reports, or view more tips about pedestrian safety on the city's website.
Now it's time for Tom Pogue from the county's Department of Transportation to join us with some information about a new transportation service for seniors.
Hi, I'm Tom Pogue, Community Relations Manager for the Department of Transportation. Here's an update from Montgomery County. County Executive Leggett has announced the launch of a new Recreation Senior Center Transportation Initiative. The new transportation service will be provided through a contract with the Jewish Council for the Aging, which has provided quality transportation services to seniors for more than 40 years. The service will provide rides to senior centers Monday through Friday for county residents 55 and older. Residents must live within a defined radius of the 5 county senior centers: Damascus, Holiday Park, Long Branch, Margaret Schwanhott, and White Oak. The bus drivers have specialized training in working with the senior population. The initiative also restores the popular senior mini-trips, visiting cultural opportunities throughout the region. These new services support the commitment to ensure a viable lifetime community, a goal developed by the county's Commission on Aging. For more information about services for seniors in Montgomery County, visit our website at montgomerycountymd.gov/seniors. We're working to keep you moving.
The Kengar Community Recreation Center in Kensington has a new name. The center was renamed in honor of the late Leonard D. Jackson, a well-known community activist. Local and state officials and members of the Jackson family attended the dedication ceremony at the newly renovated center on January 25th. Jackson was a founding member of the Kengar Civic Association and served as its president for more than 20 years. The center is managed by the county's Department of Recreation, which plans to develop an after-school and summer program, as well as senior activities for members of the Kengar community. It's located at 4111 Flyers Mill Road. Montgomery College offers several options for an honors education. One of these options is the Renaissance Scholars Program. Danielle Stetsky reports on what makes this program so unique.
They are non-traditional students on a journey to be scholars.
Several of you are grandparents who have decided that it's time for you to be educated. One of you is from another country and seeking asylum in this country. Many of you are from very different countries.
I'm a non-traditional student, and I appreciate being able to take classes with people my age as well as younger students, and I really think that the program brings a lot to the table because you are in a diverse environment with several age groups, so you get to hear several perspectives.
The Renaissance Scholars Program is designed to accommodate the needs of both part-time and full-time high-achieving students interested in a challenging curriculum.
I'm looking for the challenge. I'm looking to meet people who enjoy studying, and I'm looking to learn.
The students accepted in this prestigious program receive scholarship support, study and travel experience opportunities, faculty mentors, and special advising.
One of the biggest learning experiences that I've had since I've been here is trying to get a game plan together in terms of what do you want to major in, what courses should you take, and that sort of thing. And one of the things that Renaissance really brings is a higher level of engagement, both from the students and from the professors.
The Renaissance Scholars Program offers 1 credit seminars in the fall and 6 credits dyads, combined courses in the spring. This is the 4th semester that Hiba Malek has been taking courses within the program. One of Hiba's favorite courses was the seminar on religion taught by Dr. Mary Paula Walsh.
Before I joined Renaissance Scholar, I just had like a good understanding of my own religion, but then I saw the wide world of religions and it was just incredible. I loved it.
Among the combined courses being offered in this semester is 2-dimensional design and introduction to philosophy.
I don't have a lot of expectations. I have a lot of hopes and ambitions. This is the first time this particular dyad is being offered, so I think it's got tremendous potential.
For County Report This Week in Germantown, I'm Danielle Stetsky.
When we come back, we'll show you how the county's Director of Community Partnerships is making a difference locally. And we'll introduce you to our Pet of the Week. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Montgomery College is hosting 2 College Goal Maryland events in February to help college-bound students fill out the free application for federal student aid. Professionals will be on hand to provide assistance. MC's Workforce Development and Continuing Education program is offering Kaufman Fast Track courses for veterans starting February 13th. The 10-week course is designed for veterans who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs, and Maryland residents can take the class for just $99. MC is one of just 150 community colleges in the country eligible to apply for the $1 million Aspen Prize, the nation's signature recognition for high achievement and performance among community colleges. It recognizes institutions for exceptional student outcomes.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Connecting communities in a county of more than 1 million residents can be challenging. MyMC Media's Valerie Bonk has the story of how one man is working to reach populations that aren't used to communicating or involving themselves in local government.
He's no stranger to the county.
Stereotype busting is the point of these.
Born and raised in Montgomery County, Bruce Adams has lived and breathed the changing times in the area. And from the beginning of his time serving with the county government, he has been at the forefront of defining community engagement.
Ike Leggett and I ran for county council together in 1986 and served together for 2 terms. And then when he was elected, he asked me to come and help him with his transition into office. We combined the Volunteer Center with this outreach office. We renamed it Office of Community Partnerships.
His office is part of the county's community engagement cluster formed in 2011, which includes the 5 regional service centers, the Commission for Women, the Gilchrist Center, and the Volunteer Center.
We're trying to get folks outside the government to be more effective in working with the government, to learn how to speak bureaucrat, learn how to get grants, learn how to partner, and trying to convince the folks inside the government the value of working with partners in the community.
And it's not easy. The office has to try to reach out to those who haven't necessarily been used to communicating and involving themselves with local government.
Folks have come from some places with some really sketchy governments. Their first instinct isn't, hey, let's go to the local government. And we have to convince people that we are here to welcome them.
As part of ramping up their engagement efforts, the office added outreach to nonprofits and the faith community, as well as reached out to continental African, Caribbean, and Middle Eastern communities, who they say weren't being involved in discussions.
What doesn't community engagement mean to you?
You want to make sure that folks feel welcome.
Find more information about the Office of Community Partnerships on their website at www.montgomerycountymd.gov/partnerships. For County Report This Week, I'm Valerie Bonk.
Good news for the winter weary. Spring starts in January at Brookside Gardens with a global collection of plants that is sure to please your senses. Find out how you and your organization can take a tour in this report.
Do you have a large group of friends or a garden club that might be interested in coming out to Brookside Gardens for a tour? And we've got a great group of volunteer docents who'd be happy to give your group a tour anytime throughout the seasons of our indoor gardens or our outdoor gardens. Our volunteer docents are expertly trained by our horticultural staff, and they'd be happy to give you a tour really focusing on the exquisite plants that we have throughout our collections. They'd be happy to focus on native plants, on azaleas, or any other specific plant request you might have in mind for your group. Tours are by appointment only, and we really prefer groups of about 15 to 20 per tour guide. For more information about our group tour program, including contact information, reservation information, and current fees, check our website at brooksidegardens.org. See you out in the gardens.
Now it's time to go to the Humane Society, where Kathy Stanhope joins us with our Pet of the Week. Kathy?
This is Kathy Stanhope with your Pet of the Week at the Montgomery County Humane Society in Rockville. And we are here with a lovely lady today. This is Lola. She unfortunately had to be given up by her owners when they moved, but this dog is friendly. She's a lot of fun. She's a favorite with the kennel staff here. Come on down and see Lola at the shelter. Give us a call at 240-773-5960 or visit us on the web at mchumane.org.
With that, we close this edition of County Report This Week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. It's been a cold few weeks in Montgomery County, and with that, we leave you with a winter's view from Lake Needwood. I'm Sonia Burke. Thank you for watching.